Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to XWA TakeDown, and it is now time for our main event of the evening, a tag team match scheduled for one fall. And first making his way to the ring, the man who you could consider to be the mastermind behind the entity that is now known as World's Finest, Victory Musashi. A man who is more than familiar with leading other men towards the proverbial goal of conquest that he always seems to mention. Of course, Musashi was one time the ringleader of the group known as Team Katana in New Japan Pro Wrestling, before absolving that group, making his way westward here to the XWA and planting the seeds to what is now World's Finest, the international group of superstars that seem to have followed in his footsteps and are listening to whatever it is that he says about becoming the most dominant group in all of professional wrestling. Of course, it doesn't hurt that he has assembled a very impressive stable of wrestlers to back him up within his goals. The most surprising of which is his tag team partner coming down to the ring right now, billionaire Brock Bentley, a man who himself has had very strong, if not controversial, intentions within professional wrestling, within the XWA itself. As his namesake says, this is not a man who necessarily needs to be in this business. He is one of the most wealthy men in the world, certainly one of the most wealthiest men in professional wrestling, and he has devoted all of his resources to assisting Victory Musashi in achieving the goal of taking over the XWA and, quite frankly, taking over professional wrestling as a whole. And as ruthless and as dangerous as these two men are individually, having them together in one group is a very dangerous concept to think about. And now we go backstage once again with Fabiola, who has the two men that these two men will be facing off tonight. Thank you, Fabiola. And it could not have been stated any better by those two guys. The history, long-standing, between all four of these men in their respective rivalries. Heading to the ring now, Yoshi Togo, who is the most long-standing rival of Victory Musashi's throughout both of their careers. Their rivalry pretty much defines New Japan Pro Wrestling, which Yoshi Togo happens to be the president of. Togo coming here to the United States following Musashi into the XWA with the intention of preventing him from doing here what it is that he did in New Japan, ruling with an iron fist as New Japan World Champion for a number of years. And then, of course, his tag team partner, one of the most decorated superstars in all of core wrestling. A man who, quite frankly, has, no pun intended, evolved into one of the true ring veterans and a transcendent individual in professional wrestling, in combat sports, to be honest with you. John Payne, the Evolution, competitor here in the XWA, as well as a heavyweight competitor in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, and a top contender, no less. Not to mention the curator of the School of Hardstyle Academy, inherited by his mentor Riot, once known as the School of Hardcore, which he has used to train the future superstars of core wrestling, of names which include Kevin Lassiter, Christian Phoenix, and most recently Jesse Risen, who you saw in action earlier tonight. But that does not mean that Payne himself is passing the torch. He is very still much capable of being the best in this business. As his shirt even says, best of the best. Pretty self-explanatory, the confidence that he has in himself and his abilities. And the same could be said for Togo. Him and Musashi opening up here. And Togo now. T-bone suplex. Yoshi Togo made it very clear in that interview earlier that this monster that is known as World's Finest has to be cut off as soon as possible. And the way to do that would be by taking out Musashi and Bentley, as they are pretty much, you could consider, co-leaders of this alliance. Like I said, individually, Brock Bentley and Victory Musashi are amongst the most ruthless men in all of pro wrestling. But putting them together makes for a very, very volatile situation here within the XWA. And if you've been following, you've seen exactly the extent of the destruction that these men can cause and the influence that they have over their allies, Nueva Lucha, Legionarius, and the national champion Union King. Belly-to-belly suplex there by Togo, who has seemingly taken early momentum in this match. Not before that swinging neck breaker there by Musashi. And a back suplex following it up. Series of strikes and a couple of round kicks there. Now body slam by Victory to the ropes and a deep leg drop. Pure velocity on that move. And the Enziguri. A signature maneuver, so quick, so sudden, and so powerful is that Enziguri by Victory Musashi. And now driving Togo's head into the boot of Brock Bentley, who is now the legal man for his team. And an exploder suplex by Bentley. No nonsense, old school style wrestling is the definition of Brock Bentley. He's not going to wow you with his amazing athleticism. He just gets down to business. And when he's on his game, business is booming. And there you saw the $1 billion fish drop, a patented maneuver of Bentley's. And it looks like, okay, timely counter there by Togo. That looked like it was going to be what he calls the 1%, which could have very well meant the end of the match for Togo. but he bounces back. Dragon suplex. And now Togo whipping Bentley into his corner. And in for the first time comes John Payne. Snapmare and a canker kick right to the forehead of Bentley. And what a combination of strikes there. Left hook and a spinning back fist by the mixed martial artist Payne. Japanese arms dragging out. Luthez press and a little grounded pound. To call John Payne a hybrid would be an understatement. No superstar in the XWA, in core wrestling as a matter of fact, has more seamlessly mixed pro wrestling and MMA than John Payne, who is definitely feeling it right now after that GTS. And another spinning back fist. Easily the best striker in the XWA. And he is demonstrating it right now. A savate kick right there. And a combination Muay Thai knee. He calls that the hard line. I call it pretty damn cool. And a moonsault to follow up. And now Payne with a cover. Only getting a 2 count, but boy was that close, ladies and gentlemen. Bentley, though, manages to slip behind and deliver the back suplex, trying some way to get himself back into this match. And a beautifully executed double underhook suplex. And a German suplex with a bridge by Bentley. Only getting a 2 count, but that count right there was a bit on the slow side, if you ask me. Following up with a beautiful drop kick, though. Bentley is an athlete. He will do things that are a little unorthodox, but not very often. Straight to the point, neck breaker right there. A drop kick is kind of unorthodox for Brock Bentley's repertoire. And once again, double underhooks. Lifting Payne up and dropping him down center of the ring with that double underhook suplex. And now applying a dragon sleeper. I don't, however, think that applying a submission maneuver to John Payne is the best strategy in the world. Another Luthez press. And 3 hard hammer strikes down onto the forehead of Bentley. As I was saying, submission wrestling is one of John Payne's fortes. Of course, he trained extensively in Brazil with the Gracie family in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So the last thing that you want to do is try to make John Payne tap out. It's next to impossible. Speaking of tapping out, though, classic figure 4 leg lock right there by Togo. And Togo, samurai suplex. The offense is coming early and often and heavy by all 4 men. As this is a new move in Togo's repertoire he calls the Vertibuster. That could do it right there. No. Musashi manages to make the save for his team. That was another close call right there, though. Could have been a 3 count. Bentley once again with the neck breaker and dragging his foot along the forehead of Togo. Follows up with that with a kick to the small of the back. Bentley's got a nearly sadistic nature to him. And a mean streak, of course. And once again, 2 for Payne, 1 for Togo. Another one of those deep underhook suplexes. He sticks to a fundamental game plan. As I said before, classic DDT, nothing fancy, just inflicting as much damage as possible. And speaking of damage, the shoulder of Togo driving right into the ring post there. And Bentley slowing the pace down with a knee in the corner. And now Bentley, a second attempt at the 1%, and this time it pays off. Musashi with a boot to the down Togo for added measure. But Bentley only gets a 2 count from that finishing maneuver. So he applies more pressure. Another back suplex now. And Bentley maybe paused a little too long there, trying to figure out what it is that he could possibly do to put Togo away. Swinging suplex neck breaker by Togo. Vintage maneuver by him, as is this, the Anaconda Vice. And Musashi once again breaking up the hold, saving his partner from certain doom. Or did he? Combination of kicks right there. And a double roundhouse by Togo in pain. Oh my goodness, that was impressive. But still only gets a 1 count. Bentley still manages to kick out after that scintillating combination by the team of Yoshi, Togo, and John Payne. Togo with a classic scoop slam right there. And now elbows right to the collarbone of Bentley. Neither of these two teams are giving much. Just when you think one has control, the other one takes control. And that was not a very pretty move there. Another exploder by Bentley. And as I said before, right now it's getting to the point where these guys are just trying to figure out what will it take to put the other man away. And Bentley might be trying to go for another finish here. Yes, he is. He locks in the $1 billion dream. That suplex, and meanwhile outside Payne and Musashi going at it. Snap suplex right onto the concrete by Payne. Musashi trading blows. Meanwhile, Bentley had that hold in for a long time, but Yoshi Togo managed to escape somehow. And somehow the referee has managed to keep control of this match. Gotta give credit to him for that. Togo with Bentley on the top turnbuckle now. And what's going to happen here? Togo answers back the barrage of double underhand suplexes with an avalanche version of his own. And a guillotine leg drop to follow up. Togo now whipping Bentley back into the corner again and again. Tags John Payne in. And devastating combination spear and clothesline. And now John Payne delivers the painkiller. That's it. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. And for good measure, moonsault with the pin too. And wait a second. The lights just went out in the arena. Just as the referee was about to count the 3 fall. I have no idea what is going on, ladies and gentlemen. Wait. Oh my God. Is that? That's Tyson Terra. Tyson Terra with a big boot on John Payne out of nowhere. Where the hell did he come from? Terra somehow got the lights off and now is blindsided attack John Payne. The big boot and now the last rites. Oh my God, what is going on here? I do not want to think about what this means right now.